Hello and welcome to this new episode of the Alex Show TV. And as you can see, I have two guests, and I'm very happy to have my very two good friends, Jeannie from Australia and Tony from London. Hi guys, how are you doing?
Hi, Alex.
Hi,
Good.
hey Tony.
Hi,
Good.
Jeannie.
Thank you,
Nice to see you, mate.
Jeannie. So happy to have this three-way chat again. That we had a few of them in the past. And today's topic is going to be, why do lessons have to be so hard? And thank you, Jeannie, for suggesting this topic. And if you don't mind, if you could please start. Why do you think lessons have to be so hard?
Okay. I guess it comes back to the theme of why are we here, I suppose. I guess for people who have no particular belief, they just think, okay, our parents had sex, I was born, one day I'm going to die. I don't believe in anything in particular, so whatever happens to me is I either make it happen or it could be good luck, bad luck, right? But if you have a spiritual belief, you may believe that the soul, however it starts, who knows how it came into being, but the soul keeps returning until we learn whatever we're meant to learn and we become enlightened, and then we don't have to come back. Now, I don't think anyone can really say, well, why does that have to be? Where did it begin? Everyone's got sort of ideas, I guess, or experiences. But for me, it's like, can we not learn and grow from happy experiences? A child is born, you get married, whatever. And I know we do, don't get me wrong, I know we do. But it seems that hard lessons or grief or pain seems to bring about the most growth, And for me, decent people, well, I'll take my life. I seem to experience karma, and I use that word loosely. Everyone's got their own ideas. If I do something wrong by somebody, even accidentally, I've found in my life that I will get it back. And sometimes, in my view, it's out of proportion. It's like, okay, I did that wrong thing, but I feel like I'm suffering for it, over and over, sort of thing. And then I was thinking, well, bad people, I guess, like, obviously things happen to bad people. However, when they do something to somebody, people who have no empathy, I guess they don't feel remorse or guilt or empathy because they just don't have it inside. So, and I'm not saying bad things never happen to bad people, but why does the soul choose so much pain? I mean, there's so much pain in the world, always has been, I could say more so these days. Well, who knows, but why does pain mean more growth, perhaps, and like some people, it could put them off spirituality entirely. If they have too much pain, it's like it can help people grow and learn, but other people, they may think, oh, stuff this, I'm not believing in God anymore, I'm not believing in all this crap because my life is too hard, it's all too hard, I'm sick of hard lessons. What's it all about, Alfie? Why does the soul choose such pain? That's better, guys, for the intro.
No, that's great. Actually, you make a lot of sense, right?
Yeah. It's like you're asking what's the meaning of life here, really? Yeah.
Well,
like,
yeah,
basically.
pretty much. Yeah.
kind of.
Just a little question. Yeah.
No pressure.
No pressure, no.
All right. Where do I go with that? I know what you mean, though. I think life, it does teach you. Life is a teacher itself, I believe. Like your experiences and how you interpret them. So, as a kid, if I go out into the playground or the yard estate, and I steal something off a kid, his big brother might come and beat me up. So I learned not to steal. if I have a big brother and I go out and steal from other kids, and then no one bullies me anymore because I say I'll get my big brother on you, I interpret that as, oh, I've got a right to steal. I can steal off other people, so I learn to steal. So unless there's some sort of divine order or divine justice, like karma, that will get me back because I'm doing wrong, I'll learn that's the right way to go. And I do believe there is a divine order, and it's called conscience. I believe spirit is our conscience. So if I do something wrong, somewhere along the line, I'll feel a pang of conscience that, oh shit, I didn't mean that. That kid is poor like me, but I stole from him. And yeah, I feel bad about that. I've got to do something or repay it, or I just feel bad. That's my compass. And those people in the world that ignore that compass, that intuition or that conscience, they become more and more, I don't know, what's the word? Hardened, like this. They get a hard shell of dispassionate or psychopaths. You know, become immune to people's suffering. And I think that's when they lose touch with their conscience, their spirit. And it might seem like they're getting away with it in this world. They become rich and famous and big houses, big cars. But I believe that's an illusion. It's a trap because you didn't earn it. You stole it, or you manipulate people to get it. You did bad things to get your possessions. So I think that's the illusion. That's the test of this world. That's the test of spirituality and doing good and following your compass. So if your compass says do this and you ignore it, that's on your spirit. You're losing connection with source, spirit, and whatever you believe or whatever you don't believe, whatever religion, belief system, philosophy, it's irrelevant. It's your conscience that guides you, I believe. And I think when we suffer, either those people that suffer and are in the sort of following their tail, they're lost. They don't. No one's taught them about a conscience, so they're kind of flashing about in the dark. They're flashing about in anger and fear. So someone might go, "Yeah, look, don't you feel bad about what you've done?" Yeah, kind of. Well, just follow that instinct, follow that feeling, and then live your life by that, and see how it goes. So that's my experience. I follow my conscience, and whether I'm poor or I have money or not, it doesn't matter. I still stick to my conscience, and I sleep better at nights. I sleep in at night thinking, well, I've done no harm to people. I've done my best, and then to me, that's being rich. You know, me and Alex have spoke about it. We're rich because we're in touch with spirit. We're in touch with our conscience, and material goods and fame and success, quote, success is an illusion. It's a trap for these people that do wicked things. And I think that's the reason people suffer, because they
So,
don't
I don't know.
pay attention. Sorry. They don't pay attention to their conscience. That's, I think, why they suffer, because they're continually going into the dark, if you get what I mean. That makes sense.
Yes, Ginny, go ahead. You wanted to say something?
Some of these internet was playing up, and I'm not sure it was
Oh,
mine.
yeah,
or
I
not.
thought
But
I
anyway,
thought you said something like that.
we'll
Okay,
keep going.
that's why I asked if
Mm.
you were, but you're
Yeah.
okay now.
It's okay now, I think. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, great topic, guys. Because this is a nice debate
Yeah.
among friends. I'm kind of aligning with both your ideas. First of all, I want to say suffering as a way of teaching works, yes, but I don't like the way it works. Okay, it's not the mechanism for me. Is not what it should be, and it's through reflexes. We don't want to suffer. Okay, that's the idea. The spirit doesn't want. By the way, the spirit doesn't suffer. You probably have heard in wakes and things like that. Oh, he's not suffering anymore. Talking about the person that has passed. When you leave the body, you stop suffering. That moment. So the spirit doesn't learn through suffering, because the spirit actually doesn't experience suffering in any shape or form. It's the body through reflexes. We don't like it. Okay. We don't like our buttons to be pushed. We don't like people shouting at us. We don't like to experience pain. We don't like to experience stress, which is pain in a way. We don't like it. And thus we try to avoid things we don't like. So it works in that way. Is it necessary? In my opinion, no. It's part of this reality. It's an unfortunate part, but I also have to say it's a part of the designers of this reality. That's when I'm going to go a little bit out there. That suffering is the primal thing they need. They need people to suffer, okay? So they sell it to us. That is part of your growth. That is part of the ways you're gonna learn. Okay, it goes with the territory. You have to suffer. If not, you're not gonna grow spiritually or emotionally or as a person. You're not gonna be a good person if you don't suffer. I don't agree at all. You could be great, you could be the best with no suffering at all. What happens is also that because we're taught this way, we're programmed this way, our mind works, our egoic mind works that way, and we all have this egoic mind we cannot either fix or shut off. That if we're indulged too much, especially if we suffer too much pleasures and little suffering, for example, the children of rich people, the children of politicians, and that, you remember, Tony, the Uday Husseins, remember?
Oh yeah. Oh,
And sorry,
dear.
you really go bad. And they also sell that. If you really don't experience suffering, if you don't have to suffer for things, you're really gonna kind of become this monster, no? Like the Uday Husseins and a lot of children of people that do these evil things, you know, the children of rich people that, you know, are bullies and they enjoy being nasty to others and stuff like that. I don't agree as well, okay? I think that's just children that are spoiled, that are brats, that are miseducated, poorly educated, non-educated, that the parents think with money they're gonna buy an education. And I'm not talking about college or anything like that. I'm talking about teaching them how to behave in this society, being good citizens of this world. They think with money they buy that, and that's why they become these brats. They think by giving them everything, by pampering them, they're gonna become these great members of society, and that's why they become some of them monsters. So, for me, one of the great illusions in this reality is the need of suffering as a spiritual growth. That we need to come back here again and again and again, if you believe in reincarnation, so we can finally learn all the lessons and the spirit can grow. The spirit is the spirit. It came out of creation, it's going back to creation, it's really just along for the way, it's enjoying these experiences. So actually, more than suffering, how do we go about this reality? Enjoying and learning, okay? Enjoying and learning, okay? As Tony says, we need more than suffer, we really need just to be aware how to be, like he says, I don't make anyone suffer. I have the best intentions. He said, I try my best. That's having the best intention. Just try your best. The actions that come out from that have to do with your possibilities. If you're out there in the streets and you try your best, your actions gonna seem very simple. Maybe they're not gonna go a little bit beyond you. If you're Elon Musk and you try your best, you can change a lot of lives. I'm not saying change the world, that's too much. But you, for example, could change a whole city in Africa if you want. He has that power, but it has to come from the intention. So our actions, we think we're measured by our actions. When we're, first of all, never measured because the universe doesn't really punish us. It's just observing, but definitely it's not gonna take our actions into account. It's gonna take our intentions. So if you're poorly, you have poor intentions, if you have bad intentions, if you have evil intentions, then certainly your actions are gonna measure up to that. So I don't know. I don't know what you guys think about that sort of thing. Jeannie,
Yeah,
you
I
wanna
think
maybe
that-
say something? Or?
Jeannie.
Yeah, like I said before, I guess, like, I'm guilty of saying, oh, these people have got no souls, they've got no, well, maybe everyone does have a soul. And once again, it's like, well, if the soul isn't suffering, where's the lessons? Because I know souls
say-
don't suffer.
Exactly.
It's the physical that suffers.
Mhm.
So what does that mean to the soul? Why does the physical have to suffer if the soul's not feeling it, sort of thing, you know?
Because
like-
maybe it doesn't have to
It's
suffer.
yeah, well,
Sorry to interrupt you. I just want to say that maybe
but I
the body
guess-
doesn't have to suffer.
everyone must have a soul, like,
Oh yes.
and in the physical, as you say, Alex, for all those reasons you mentioned, they go off the rails, whatever. But sometimes, like, even good people can sometimes do silly, hurtful things. Sometimes deliberately if they're having oh, my internet's gone funny again. Sometimes if they're having a bad day or whatever. But sometimes you hurt people unintentionally. Just say you're in a relationship and you fall out of love and you think that this isn't working, I have to break it off because I don't want to hurt you anymore. But what I find is that, okay, I didn't intend to hurt this person, but I find I will have a similar lesson, I don't know, so I can experience that too. Like, is it about experiencing
Mm.
everything, even though you didn't intentionally mean to hurt the person? That's how I've sort of found my life to go at times, you know. And it's, I know a psychic once told me that, Jeannie, you've been here 49 times. When are you going to learn? Okay.
Mm.
What am I? Well, I know things that I should be learning, like boundaries. That's been a big one for me, right? And you can lessen hard or reduce hard lessons if you set proper boundaries. Like, if someone hurts you and you forgive them and they do it again, it's like, okay, bye-bye. If you keep allowing that person to hurt you, obviously that's a hard lesson that you're probably bringing on yourself. Okay. But then there's the notion, like, just say someone's in a car accident and they lose their legs. Okay. They could be the nicest person in the world, and you think, what's that about? What's that about?
Mm.
But then they might eventually get a job or you know, find a path where they actually recover and they help other people in similar circumstances. So sometimes the universe turns a negative into a positive, you know. So, but some people's lives are just, there's too much pain, and they never seem to get to that silver lining, or they never seem to turn it into something positive, you know. And because, you know, I'm a pretty empathetic person, this is why I ask the question,
Mhm.
well, what's that for? Like, really, you know, because I can't stand, like, I can't think of the pain in the world for too long, because I'll just be a blithering mess, you know. But, and I've only suffered a fraction of what other people suffer, and I just can't imagine it. And I just don't know why it has to be like that. I mean, I do, I guess my soul knows, but Jeannie, the mind, and Jeannie with the emotions, etc., can't fathom it. And
Mm.
it's, yeah, I don't know.
Nathan.
And I
Oh, sorry, but I thought you were done. Go ahead.
no, so sorry, I was just going to say, I agree with you, Alex, that we shouldn't really have to struggle, but life is like that. No one gets, and even the, you know, the evildoers, they must experience pain and whatever in their own way, I guess, you know. It just seems to be a part of life. It's not something that you can get rid of.
Mm.
So
Yeah, I've got a few things on that if you want to chip in.
yeah, go for it.
When you said you saw a psychic and she said, "Why are you coming back? 49 times you've been here. What are you doing? Why don't you got over
Yeah,
it, got
well,
out of it?"
yeah,
Type thing.
yeah,
But it's kind of like what I see is the system is set up to create individuals that are selfish and competitive and dog eat dog. Like you go to school, they tell you get good grades, get good qualifications, get a good job, get a good salary, big house, car, have a nice
yeah,
life. And that, if you step back from that and go, right, what does that create? It creates a person that is dog eat dog, me and my little circle, and screw the rest. I'm
mm,
in it for myself and my little family. That's it. Not all of us follow that, obviously, but the system is set up to make individual selfish, mercenary people, literally mercenary people. You're an object, you're in my way. So to answer your question, like your summary, I would say the system is set up in a way that creates mixed up people, confused, angry people. So where I'm at in my life is I look at the world, like, throw a little quote. I said to a guy a few years back, I don't know what I was saying, I just said it came out from somewhere. I said, Nirvana, mate, is knowing the whole world is lying to you. And when I said it, I thought, did I say that? But nowadays, it's come true. I'm like, something new back then. My spirit knew. Nirvana is knowing the entire world is lying to you. And once you realise that, and it's set up in a way to make angry, competitive people, it's like you know there's nothing you can do about the system. It is as it is. So where I'm at the moment, I know that I'm working on myself, and what I do now is work on my triggers. So from school, I did it unconsciously. I had someone say, "Go on, throw the stone at that window." I went, "No, I'm not doing that." "Ah, you're a chicken." Bark, bark, bark. So I'd pick a stone up, and maybe I did or maybe I didn't, but I was triggered into acting. So I allowed people to press my buttons like a puppet and make me jump and dance and jump through hoops for them because I was easily triggered. And all my life, I've been looking at life and people and how they mimic each other and going, yeah, I don't want to follow that kind of person or this one, or I like what he's doing or she's doing. I'll take that bit. But now I'm really focusing it in on not being reactive and not being provoked so easily. And it's quite difficult, but once you realise the process, the dynamic, you can take your power back. It's like, because every time you get provoked, you're either shouting or lashing out or, giving them a finger, up yours, and you're losing energy. You're literally leaking energy out all the time. And that's what the system wants. It wants your energy. They call it loosh. And I realise now it's my energy. I'm going to be very careful about who I react to, respond. I don't respond. I don't react, I respond if possible. So just recognising when someone's trying to press your buttons, and there's so many ways they do it, but that's where I'm at. I'm working on identifying those people out there that are craftily trying to get a reaction, because they get some energy from it. They like literally, you see a smile on their face when you react. It's like, yeah, I got him. I got him to react.
Yeah.
And I'm working at that. It's where I'm at now. I'm working at that. And when you get good at it, when you identify it and you feel more power because you're not leaking it anymore, it's like those people fade away. They fade away from your life because they see no point in it. There's no point in them coming to you anymore because you don't react. You've got your power, and it gives you strength and focus. So I think that's the key to battling this this system and its negativity, to work on your triggers, and that way, hopefully, it'll be the 50th time and you're off out. You're on your way.
I mean, it's funny because I didn't even bother asking, well, how do you know that? How do you prove it? But it was just interesting, because I know I'm still learning a lot of things, and triggers is a big one for me. Like, I've been told I'm reactive and I need to learn to respond. So that is a big one for me, But, Alex,
I think it is for everyone. Yeah.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Yes, expanding what Tony was just saying, I had a person that you both know, I'm not gonna go into names and that he was on the show a few times, that contacted me last year, very upset, privately, very upset, trying to push my buttons in a way, try to get me enraged and that. And I remember, in a normal way, I'm not saying I'm perfect, I'm trying every day just to go, like Tony's saying, to understanding who I give my energy to, okay? And sometimes when people are like that, they don't understand they're working for the system and they don't know they're working for the system, okay? When someone is trying to push your buttons, getting you into an argument or getting you to enrage or fear or anything like that, they are inadvertently operators of the system, okay? Which, by the way, this person was telling me I was the operator of the system, so that was even funnier, okay? I was the government agent, okay? But I remember saying, you know what? My only suggestion is leave rage behind, leave confrontation behind, leave violence behind. They're all
Yeah.
energy operations. They're all energy sucking operations. Okay. It's not that you're weak. It takes a lot of effort. You're actually strong by doing that. The easy way is to allow your buttons to be pushed. The difficult part is not allowing your buttons to be pushed. In this reality, the only moment I'm great is when I wake up, and then life takes over. Okay, and I have 2 kids, and I have a wife, and I have a business to run, and I'll have 2 channels, and I have friends, and I have families. So I have a normal, convoluted life, and life takes over. But when you notice, Ginny, that that's the game, you start, as Tony is saying, playing the game better. Perfect? No. It's not possible. It's not possible. And believe me, people that have a lot of money, they have other sufferings, you know. They have other sufferings. I think we three are in way better position than people that have a lot of money. Because that's what they have, a lot of money, and that's it. And they think they go into the outside and think that money is gonna buy them all of this peace that we three have. And no, it doesn't buy that. And I'm not saying they're afraid of losing their money. They have all kind of issues. Okay, that is no point that I go through them. They have all kind of issues because we are programmed into thinking that having money is going to solve everything. And no, it makes life easier. Yes. It takes some of the sufferings away. Yes. I know it will be great not receiving an electricity bill or something like that and not making a, I'm not saying, yes, it will be great paying for my children's. I know people that I know that have paid all university in advance. That's great. Not having a bill from university anymore. That's great. But that doesn't mean all of their suffering and pains go away. Okay, it's an unfortunate fact that we are here for the experience, and someone else has hijacked this experience. Just think if the world really will be with no suffering, if there will be any competition, it will just will be like in a family gathering, in a friend gathering. The people are not competing there. People are, just friendly, and no one is pushing. I mean, has to be a very strange thing, but no one is pushing other people's bottom, stuff like that. It's because this life, they make it. So we're kind of in the sea and we don't know what's going on. And we're in this competition, as Tony is saying, that we're just running and we see someone close and say, I need to run harder because I'm falling behind in the competition. At the end, people get old. And a lot of old people say, I don't even know what I was running to or from or for what reason. I just knew I needed more and more and more and promotions and more business and more sales and more. I just needed more, okay, for no apparent reason. Imagine how beautifully people that have a lot of money or some money, millionaires, they can live comfortable, and imagine all the actions they can do, all the lives they can change. Okay. One example, they have someone that is taking care of their garden, has a child, they can change his life, her life. I mean, they have that power. But people always justify themselves saying, no, I work hard. It's just because they didn't work hard. That's what the system is saying. The system set up a good percentage. 80% of humanity is set up for failure. Okay, they need that. 80% of humanity is suffering a lot. They go bill to bill. Some of them don't even have food. Some of them they don't know if they're gonna eat tonight. And that's a good percentage of humanity, starting with Africa, but it's a huge percentage. But people in India, people in Bangladesh, so we forget about that. And I understand that I forget about it as well, because as you say, Gene, if I start thinking about that, I'm gonna go crazy, and because I cannot fix the world. Okay. But what I'm trying to do is having the best intentions on everything. And I think they do help. And my actions are gonna reflect my intentions. So what Tony's saying, I'm just trying to be a good person. I try. That's the big question, the big word. I try. Then life, the actions are gonna come out how life allows it. Okay. So we're also taught religions and that we're measured by your actions. Okay. Oh, if you do this, you're gonna hell. If you don't come to church every Sunday, you are not gonna go to heaven. If you don't confess every X months, you're in trouble. I think I shared with you guys the story of when I was in high school, a student died. I didn't really knew him, but another student died. And one really religious person said, did he go to mass on Sunday and did he confess? I don't know, he was healed for a week, maybe no. Oh, he's going to hell. Oh my, come on.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that.
Yeah.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah.
And that's what church will tell you. And if you ask
Eh.
a priest, he will say, did he
Mm.
confess? Did he have his last rites? No. He's not gonna make it. Oh my God.
How
Oh
do people?
my God.
Yeah,
Sorry,
Cool.
guys. Go ahead. Jeannie, if you like, or
Jeannie?
Oh,
Mhm.
I grew up a Catholic, right? And gave it away at 13. I don't know how people come to that belief system, how they can possibly think that's an okay way to think. It just does my head in,
Mm.
you know.
Mm.
But yeah, I mean, the whole concept of, you're telling this priest your most inner dark secrets, really. He's a mortal man. He's just a man. But obviously, as a kid, you tend to respect these people. And as you grow older, sometimes not, but for me, as I grew older, it's like they're nothing. Like same with any authority these days. It's like they're just people. And if they aren't respectful, I'm not going to pay them any mind, or I'm not going to respect them. They're just flesh and bone. They don't, well, they obviously hold power in the fact that they're powerful in whatever way. But yeah, I don't respect them. I wouldn't I guess there's some nice priests in the world, but all of that just leaves me cold, absolutely cold, you know. Um, but and no wonder, no wonder kids grow up totally confused and fearful just from that element, you know. But what Tony was saying about peer pressure, that's a huge thing, because when you're younger, you need that approval. So if your mates are, cheering you on to do something and you need their approval, a lot of the time people do bad things. And once again, it's funny, like going through school, no one's opinion of me back then matters now. It's like, I mean, obviously more wisdom comes with age, but it's like, why the hell did I bother worrying about what that guy or girl thought of me? They're nothing, not nothing, um, but your life experience is what brings you to thinking these things, And when I said like hard lessons, I know very well we bring some of them, a lot of them, on ourselves. That's for sure, like as in, just say I'm drink driving, I have a crash and lose my legs. Well, if you weren't drinking and driving, maybe that wouldn't have happened,
Mm.
I guess obviously I'm talking more about the things that seem that weren't your fault and you have no control, like the kids in Africa or whatever, that's more the lessons I'm talking about, I guess, and I don't know, it's obviously heartbreaking, and I guess the other thing is that, because I mean, and having said all this, I actually do believe we come back. There's too many spooky things that happen, right? But if we've mentioned this before, if we don't remember our lessons from the life before, it's like, well, aren't we starting from scratch again? Unless our intuition tunes in, because sometimes, whether it's deja vu or your intuition will say to you, oh, I feel like I've gone through this before, and I feel like I don't want to go through it again or need to go through it again. I need to change my behavior around this,
Mm.
But yeah, if you can't remember past lives, how do you know what you've already learned? Basically,
Mm.
you know. Um, it's a tough one. It's hard to describe why I actually do believe in that, even though sometimes I think, no, it's all BS. It can't be, you know, there's too much pain. It's ridiculous. You know, we just get born, we live, and we die. But it's not really what I believe, you know. So
Mm.
it's a bit of a struggle. Yeah.
Difficult.
Maybe I'm
Yeah.
just maybe I'm just too
Alex, you want to
sensitive.
speak, mate? You got
I just
like
wanted
you
to
were saying.
say something. Was 2 segments ago, which I forgot to say. Jeannie was saying something that we sometimes hurt people inadvertently. I agree. Remember, Tony, we had that show, I don't know, a year ago about people are gonna disappoint you and you're gonna disappoint people. Remember that one?
Oh yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
and that's what I'm trying to say, that sometimes you have good, sometimes you don't have the best intention, but sometimes you do have neutral or good intentions to someone. What is the expectation of the other person?
That's
That
it.
you didn't meet the expectation. Okay,
Mm.
so they don't care about your intention, which they should, by the way, but they don't care about your intention. It's just that you didn't fulfill what they were expecting, so you're bad, so you're awful, so you made them suffer.
Mm.
Okay, for example, in a relationship. So that happens in friendships, that happens in romantic relationships, that happens in all family relationships, friends. So I think that's more with expectations, okay, and then goes back to another thing. It's like going through a knot. Those knots you start solving and you kind of figure things out. And it goes back to judgment. This idea we're so in religions that we're always being judged and observed and observed. And maybe there's not judging going on. Maybe there's observing through love. The creation observes us through love. But there's not judgment at all, because judgment doesn't really have a place. And then you notice that the very dooming fact that maybe you judge yourself and you lie to yourself all the time, because you start by not recognizing your own mistakes. As Jeannie is saying, where is the learning? The learning starts by accepting I'm going to make mistakes every day. The only thing I don't control that. I control my intentions. Those I do control. I know it 100%. I can try to do everything the best way possible with the best intention in my heart. How it's gonna come out for some people, it's gonna be a huge disappointment. Wow, you're awful. All right, okay. People are gonna disappoint you. You are gonna disappoint people. That goes with this reality, okay. And what happens is, of course, even if you disappoint them, even if they disappoint you, you keep going. Of course, if not, you're gonna be left alone. We will be all alone. Okay, even through families. If we allow disappointment to really separate us, because again, your parents, you as a son to your parents, it's one of the many programs we have. We are always coming up short. You always can do better. Really, the best thing is try your best, as Tony says, and you're gonna go sleep at night as a baby, okay? Because that's the only thing you control, really, your intentions. The actions, there's so many variables, okay? Starting with the expectation of if it's an interaction with another human being, the other person is not seeing your intentions, which are in your heart. They're supposed to stay there. He's seeing your actions, he's measuring your actions, he's judging your actions, which he or she shouldn't do. And then he's gonna say, well, yeah, you didn't cut it, and he's gonna even go right ahead and tell you, in his or her opinion, all the pitfalls and shortcomings you have. And if you start believing and giving power to that, then it's where depression and sadness comes along. But if you're in your heart and say, I try my best, so really say whatever you want, but okay, whatever. So Tony, you want to say something?
Yeah, great advice, great wisdom. I just think that when we live in our lives, like you say, it's the intention. If no one sees the intention, they're judging the action, and you can't win unless the action is coinciding with what they want. Then they say, "Oh yeah, you're well done. You're a good bloke, you are," because it matches what their agenda is. Yeah, but that's why I say to people in my life, look, judge me when I'm gone or dead or on my deathbed, and then look back at my life and go, that crazy fool. We thought all his life was an idiot, nutcase. But look what he did. I see what he's doing. His intentions was good. All the way along his life, his intentions was good. So judge me on the end of my life and look at my intention and understand why I did what I did. You'll see that I meant well. And I don't care what people say about me, you know, whether they label me this, that, or the other, because my conscience is clean. My conscience is, you know, I've made mistakes, I've done stupid things, gone, and I've learned. But I know I answer to my conscience. That's the only one I answer to. And the mind is more, I'll say the mind is a saboteur. I call it the beast. I call it the beast. And it's the system's programming. It literally fills our head. It's like the demon up there is typing in on the computer. Yeah, make him do this, make him do that. There's loads of little programs running that the school, the work, the TV, the radio, the advertising has programmed us with, and it's in our subconscious. So when we live a life and we're on autopilot, you know, when you're in that mode when you're walking along and you're just you're just playing life out. You're not really thinking consciously. You're not really paying attention to things around you. You're just going from A to B. That's the programming. You're running a program, and then you go into a shop. You buy a newspaper. You buy a packet of Polos, mints. Walk out. You go, oh, I don't remember going in there and buying that because you're on autopilot. So most of our life is on autopilot. I'd say 90 plus %. So what I do is consciously make the effort to stay in the present, whether it's boring, crazy, exciting, dull, raining, snowing, whatever the present moment, I honour it. I stay in it and I work at it. I work at making friends with it, being in it, and whatever's going on. And the key to my life is saying to the mind, whenever a thought comes in, good or bad, because the good ones are just hooks, they hook you in and then they pull you upstairs and then they go, yeah, your life's rubbish, you're an idiot, you're stupid. But they give you the good one first. So with every thought I have, whether it's good or bad, I'm like, get lost. That's my first words to it. It's F off, and it's like, you're not wanted. Keep out. You're not welcome. And I don't do it repetitively, constantly, every single moment of the day. Get lost. F off, F off. And I'm back in the moment. 3, 2, 1, back in the room. And enjoying whatever life is, my path, the reality. There is no past, there is no future. It's always only now. And that's the antidote for me. It works. The antidote is move, go, back in the moment, go, back in the moment, go, back in the moment. That's it. That's the secret for me. So when it's trying to tell you, Jeannie, oh, you messed up that relationship, you did this, it's your fault. Oh, you've done it again and again. How stupid can you be? And all this rubbish. Don't entertain it. Don't even listen to it. It's like an enemy posing as your friend. The voice in your head is your enemy. It's posing as a friend so that it can steer you like riding you on like a monkey on your back. It's driving you around for the fun of it. You don't care about us. You don't care about the body. How many people commit suicide because of their faults? And then like, oh, there's nothing you can do. Just kill yourself. Get it over with. And these people, poor people that kill themselves, the mind caused it all. The mind was 100% to blame for these people. And it does it to us all day long. Oh, look, you just do this, do that, and you burn your cooking. Or run for the bus, you fall over and break your back. It's like, I don't listen to it no more. So practice it, just practice. Every single thought you get, even for like an hour or a day, do a day. Every single thought, now back into the present. And savour your cup of tea, drink a sip of tea. What taste the leaves? Oh, the sun's bright, isn't it? Oh, the birds are singing. Oh, they're beautiful, aren't they? People, kids are laughing. Adults are even laughing, now I notice it, because you're in the present. And just shoo the mind away. Every time it tries to come in, go away, move. Back to the moment. And I really believe this from my heart. That is the way I've survived. I've come through it. And the mind is programming. It's the negative programming from this system that keeps us spinning round in circles. So that was, I hope that helps everyone that watches this, because they rely on the thoughts and think it's them talking. It's not them talking. It's just an echo, like something happened in your childhood. Your parent might go, you an idiot. Why don't you get better grades? And you grow up, yeah, I'm an idiot, yeah. And the next day, I've got me test today. Wonder what, I'm an idiot, I'm an idiot. Yeah, I'm never going to pass this test. Because of an echo from what your parents or someone else said. And it just sticks in your mind, in your subconscious. And it runs our life. So most of the things we have in our head old, out of date, irrelevant, negative. So I'd just say to people, try it, just ignore it for a day or two, and see what happens, see what you find. And you might have other things come up, and it'll be like old stuff that you notice, you know, 'cause you can only see it in the present, and it'll bubble up, and you'll say, "Oh yeah, I know where that comes from. Let's get rid of that." And before you know it, you learn afresh, you learn anew. Life teaches you anew with good stuff because you're seeing it with your own adult eyes, and you have the experience of life to go, "Yeah, I don't need that anymore. I don't need that anymore. I might try that though. I might use that. I might use this." But yeah, get rid of shoo it away, and then as an experiment, and then see what happens. That's my little.
Yeah, that's great advice. And my life is usually better when I practice that. You know, there's nothing worse.
Right.
I mean, talk about hard lessons. As I said, sometimes we create these hard lessons by being stuck in the past,
Yeah.
and playing those movies over and over again,
Yeah.
or worrying about the future. I mean, you know, you can book a plane ticket 3 months down the track. That's different. But if you're worried about the future and that's where your thoughts go all the time, then
Yeah.
then how can life be happy, or how can you be content because you're trapped in that mindset? So yeah,
Stories.
exactly. Yeah,
stories.
yeah. So that's a very, very good point, Tony. And I should try
Oh,
to
good.
practice that more because I know I go as soon as I like sometimes I still watch things going on, right? And I found myself lately worrying, and it's like, no, Jeannie, don't, just live in the moment, live your life,
That's it.
just don't give it,
Yeah.
you know,
Reconnect.
the thoughts.
Reconnect.
Yeah. Otherwise, you don't want to be stuck in that
Oh no.
feeling, those feelings, and that's not living. It's like, yeah.
Oh no.
So
No. Not
yeah.
good.
So don't go there. Don't go there. Yeah. No, that's great advice. Great advice. Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yep.
I'm of some use then in my old age.
Oh, bloody hell. Hey, I'm 60 this month, so you know, if I haven't learned a thing or two by now, then
Yeah, you never stop learning. You never stop learning.
no, true. Well, that's the other thing. Like, learning never stops, and it shouldn't really. Like, life should be about learning.
Yeah.
But it's just the hard ones that you think, oh, can I just have happy lessons now?
Yeah.
You know. But
Take
anyway,
refuge. Take refuge in the present.
yeah,
Take
exactly. Yeah, that's right.
sanctuary in the present.
Yeah, that's a good word for it. Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree with you guys. As Tony says and has said a few times here on the show, the mind loves storytelling, loves making up stories in advance. I go back to when my son was in the hospital for 10 days, my mind was going off all the time. And my process is the same state. It doesn't really apply if you live in a city. If you live in a monastery, that kind of works. But if you live in a city, you have to operate, you need your mind, so the control of the thoughts. And especially for me, as Tony's saying, is the control of the mind in the sense, who's the boss? Okay, my soul, my spirit is the boss of my body, and the mind is part of the body. It's a tool. It's a computer. Okay, so it's like your computer or your car telling you what to do. Okay, like something like your laptop telling you, okay, today you should do this, you should that, you shouldn't talk to this one, you should talk to that one, you shouldn't be on that, you should be here, you should change jobs. Your mind, by analyzing the information, because it's an analytical mind, and telling you what's supposed to be best for you. You inside, what's best for you. And yes, Tony's absolutely right. That mind, that egoic mind, is the voice there in your head. But the voice in your soul, in your spirit, is so different. And first of all, it doesn't judge you ever. It always suggests, never imposes. Okay, it doesn't tell you or else or anything like that. And it's very simple, the questions and the answers. Okay. When I ask my intuition, my connection to my higher self, my connection to my spirit, sometimes it's yes or no. But then I go, I'm a human, and my mind goes, but why? And there's no answer, okay? Because there isn't supposed to be an answer, okay? The why, if you want to know the whys, if you want to know the whens, then that's your egoic mind. but your spirit will talk to you in very simple ways. And if you are not into talking to your spirit, it will talk to you in different ways. For example, you're in a restaurant and you hear a conversation, they're talking to you, okay? You notice it and you're like, that clicks, or you see something out there in the street, or you're watching and there's only a picture or something, they're talking. Your higher self, your spirit is talking, the universe is talking to you, okay? Because it loves that you give it its proper place, which is you are the boss, okay? The mind is a tool. The tool is like an employee that wants to be the director, okay? Like an employee out there, it has a function, but hey, I want to be the boss. Everyone wants to be the boss. And you allow it, you are confused into thinking that your mind is your boss. And that's what people say. I go with what makes sense. Then you're going with your mind. Oh, it doesn't make sense. Well, the spirit doesn't make sense many
Yeah.
times. Okay.
Yeah,
But if
exactly.
you want things to make sense, you're going with your mind. You're analytical, you're going with your mind, and that's fine. I'm not saying that's wrong. I'm just saying if you really want to be free, you have to listen to the voice within, not this one, as Tom says, within. And by the way, it's not going to be simple. It's not going to be simple answers. Sometimes it takes its time, and it will respond to you eventually. Okay. It's a very difficult relationship. The mind is easy. The spirit is beyond our understanding. Okay. That's why it doesn't make sense. It's beyond what we can capture in our minds. And that's a struggle in this world with science and that. Science is the mind, okay? Science is limited by the mind. And when there's someone with advanced theories like Terence Howard and that, he doesn't make sense. Of course, he's not supposed to make sense if you are analyzing it through the mind. So, guys, it's Jeannie, I know you have a commitment right now. It's 30 past.
Better head off.
Yeah, so if you want to say
Yeah,
something in closing, and then you, Tony, maybe.
Yeah, I guess well, the best way to make life easier is to learn from your lessons and all the things that Tony said. But try not to make the same mistakes again. Learn, whether it's a little lesson or a big one, learn from it and try not to repeat it. And that will reduce the hard lessons, I guess, because that's what you have control over. So, yeah, so I should take my own advice.
Great. Tony.
Yeah, I think it's all been said. This is a brilliant episode, I think. What you two guys have said, I don't know what I'm talking about, but I would say the voice in my head is to be ignored, and the voice in my heart, my spirit, I think it's silence. I don't actually listen to a voice. To me, it's silence versus noise. Like, my spirit is more of a feeling. Personally, it's more of an intuition. It's like a feeling that says, go that way. Now, no, what? I want to go that way. I always go this way. And it's a feeling that's pulling me. It's like, go that way now. It's not words in my experience. So it's silence. And I think someone said, I think it was Joel. Joel said to me, a little quote. He said, be still and know that you are God. And it's kind of like silence, stillness and silence are akin to each other. But yeah, I think God's voice is silence. He doesn't dictate. He doesn't bully. He doesn't shout at you. He doesn't, in my experience. So I'll say, Bruce Lee, don't think, feel. That's best I could put it. I'll nick one of his quotes. So, but yeah, it's great. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, guys. I agree that the spirit doesn't speak. It's messages, it's intuition. It's a yes and no. It's a here. It's this path, not this path. It's again for some. That's why I have such a problem when people try to go with their intuition, with their self, with their spirit, that they don't like it very much. Exactly because it's vague in a way. It's it's not as digested as the mind. Okay, the mind certainly makes it easier. And yes, it's a feeling, okay? So that's why I get it now that I've been invited to a few channels on the Spanish channel. But sometimes I go with that. I give them what my intuition is telling me, and at the end of the recording, they say, wow, great stuff, but I don't know, where do you get that kind of things? For example, the disappearance of Dr. Greenberg and that kind of, really out there theories. I'm asking my intuition to take over and tell you, okay? I know it's difficult to grasp, but I cannot go against that. And once you remember, Tony, your beautiful metaphor, you're out there in a rock, in an ocean, that's your mind. That's the egoic mind. You don't want to let go. But then you let go. You don't know where you're going. You don't know when you are going to get there. You don't know anything, but you let yourself go to your spirit and understand it's like we're free suddenly. Okay. We were trapped on the rock and we let ourselves go. We don't know if we're going to get to shore. We don't know if we're going to drown. We don't know anything, but you're fine. So I know this sounds very hippie. This sounds very don't work, party all the time. It's not what we're saying. You can be free at your job. You can be free at school. You can be free talking to a friend. You can be free sleeping. It's so different. It's not about enjoyment. Okay. It's not about the party that don't work, it's totally unrelated. But it feels that way. Being free is such a different thing. It's being free of the egoic mind, of putting the mind back to being a tool, which is a great tool, by the way, and taking yourself responsibility and direction of your life as a spirit, because you're a spirit having a human experience. I'm totally sure of that. This is just a vessel. This is just like a car, okay? I'm not saying it's bad, but it's not the boss. The car doesn't drive itself. The car has a pilot, and your spirit is the pilot of the car. So thank you, guys. Great show. Please, let's do it again soon. And sorry, Jeannie, but you're still okay, right? To take your car and everything. Okay,
yeah. It's all good. Yeah.
It's all good.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank
fellas.
you, Tony.
It's been great.
Tony,
Cheers,
thanks.
Take care, mate. Cheers,
Thanks.
Alex. Take care, mate.
Thanks. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for making it to this part of the video. This is my favorite part. This is where I suggest to you that you discover your true self. You are not what you have been groomed to believe. You are this incredible being without limits that has eternal life, amazing strength, infinite wisdom, and a big, beautiful heart. All your limits are always self-imposed. Your best version in this reality is inside you. Your only mission on this life is to become a beacon of love and to serve others. This version is ready to be discovered today. How do you discover your true self? The discovery process is a personal one. No one can do it for you. Dedicate 5 minutes a day to talk to the universe. Simply ask, who am I? Where do I come from? What is my purpose? You will start getting signs, breadcrumbs, and signals. You will notice how your notions about this reality start disappearing. No more hierarchies, no more competition, no more complaining, no more depending on others. Discovering your true self equals to real freedom. Your self-imposed limits will fall and you will be ready to understand this reality, but you must be patient to allow others to wake up at their time through their own free will. That will be really soon, you will see, and that will set up a new world. As you work towards your best version, you will notice how all emotions don't serve you anymore. Hate, fear, rage, pride, lust, envy, violence, justice through violence, judgment of others, and other emotions will disappear from your mind and heart. You will understand those emotions serve only your egoic mind and are not you. Please try to be understanding of others that don't think or feel like you. Everyone has a process. No one is right or wrong. We're all just different. Don't be concerned about being right, ever. Don't allow pride preventing you from patching things up with family and friends. It is very important you enjoy this life with your loved ones. Put in the work to patch things up and leave it to others to decide. Thank you very much for watching. Please share, like, and subscribe. If you have any comments or suggestions, please use the comment section below. For private questions, conversations, and if you would like to appear on the show, please email me at hey@thealexshow.tv. Thank you again. Please don't forget to visit our website www.thealexshow.tv. By giving me your time, you honor me. Have a very, very, very nice day.